UFC Belgrade, Udos Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. Now, there's a reason why I stay away from Udos Medic fights, right? I don't usually bet on them for many reasons. For number one, of course, Udos Medic, people forget, he is very chinny. He's very chinny. And I'm not even talking about one of those people that gets TKO'd. I'm talking about those people that get straight knocked out. You touch his chin because of his style, right? It's almost like a taekwondo fencing kind of style. Like he darts in and out. If you time that dart in, as he's darting in, if you time him because of the force, because he's coming into your punch, it's a lot more compared to you just throwing a right hand to him in his bladed stance. If you time him coming in, which he's been timed a lot of times in the UFC, I think he's been dropped 3 4 times. You could drop him, right? You don't have to be this beautiful knockout artist, powerful striker. No, if you time someone leaping in, a soft punch will knock him out or at least drop him, and that's what's been happening to him. He's been dropped 3 4 different times in his UFC career in 3 4 different fights, and that's why I stay away from his fights. Right, like in his last fight against Jeff Neal, he was an underdog. I stayed away. In his fight against Muslim Salikov, it was even odds. I stayed away. I'm sure as hell not betting Udos Medic at minus 400. I think he opened up at minus 5 600. I am not betting on Udos Medic at minus 400. You got to be crazy. I don't care if the first punch he throws knocks out Daniel Rodriguez. I am not betting on him. However, Uros Medic should win this fight. He's the main event in Serbia. He's a very fast striker. He is very hard. He is a good striker. It's just you could time him, and he's very chinny. It's really weird. So the fact that usually you become chinny throughout your career, you become chinny. However, Uros Medic never became chinny. He was just chinny, which is very fucking weird because that's not what usually happens. However, he's fighting Daniel Rodriguez, and Daniel Rodriguez is 10-4 in the UFC, and he's 39 years old. Now, Daniel Rodriguez he isn't known to be chinny, right? He's been knocked out 1 time in the UFC, not even in the UFC. He's been knocked time 1 time in his entire career, and that one knockout doesn't really count. And the reason why it doesn't count was because it was a head kick, right? Whenever it's a head kick, I don't count it as a knockout because, like with a head kick, it's not like, let me put it like this: when you get knocked out via strikes, via hands, it was because of a mistake or it was because of like a setup or something that he feinted, you dropped your guard, and he came around a left hook. He created that, right? A head kick, it's like he threw a kick, you fell into it. It is what it is. It's like, for example, like just because you're head kicked, it doesn't mean you're automatically chinny. Because a head kick the force, the impact, everyone gets dropped, right? Even fighters that are not chinny, they get wobbled and dropped. So he's been knocked out once, and that 1 time was a head kick. Outside of that, he's never been knocked out in his career. He's been knocked down, I think, like twice on the course of like 10 years, not including the head kick. And that's about it. He is quite durable. However, Daniel Rodriguez, even though you look at his record and you're like, oh my god, he's 10-4 in the UFC, he's 20-5 in his career, he's dog shit. Like I'm honestly surprised he has 10 wins in the UFC. Like he's literally dog shit. When you watch Daniel Rodriguez, he fights like a literal cholo on the streets of fucking California. He literally goes in there with his hands low, and he's just swinging hooks. And it's not even that. When I'm watching tape on a Daniel Rodriguez fight, don't like, go and take 2 minutes of your day and watch tape on Daniel Rodriguez. Don't watch his upper body. Watch his lower body. His footwork is atrocious, and that's the reason why he's probably gonna get knocked out here. He has no footwork. He has no head movement. He has no footwork. Every single time he comes in, his foot. Just look at his feet. He's always off balance, right? He comes in, his feet are not in fighting stance. They're side by side. Then he has to fucking swing his head this way, and he's off balance. He's gonna get clipped. His footwork just shows how novice he is. But then again, that comes from, he started MMA at 25, 26 years old, and at that age, it's hard to get every single thing down, right? Honestly, to be 20-5 and 10-4 in the UFC, starting MMA at 20 is quite impressive. But it was one of those where it's like he kind of had like a blessed UFC career, right? Like you come into the UFC, you fight Tim Means, Gabe Green, Dwight Green, Mike Perry, Preston Parson, Kevin Lee, Jing Ling Li Yang, like it's Alex Morono. It's like he had a quite blessed career, right? And honestly, on top of that, Danny Rodriguez doesn't hit hard. However, like I said, it's like you don't have to hit hard to knock down Udos Medic, right? Like it's really just the impact of him coming in. So, and that's the one thing Danny Rodriguez is good at is, timing you coming in. He's really good at timing you coming in, check left hook, step back throws. I don't like this fight. Uros Medic should get a knockout. Now for myself, because I won't be playing his, money line or his round one knockout because I'm not putting I have to be 1,000% confident in you to play your round one knockout, which I'm not, right? So I would honestly, if I made a fuck ton of money throughout the card and I'm like, okay, well, I want to sprinkle something here, I'm going to sprinkle round two knockout, right? Or round two and three knockout. But the fight should be over in round one, right? So it's just a flyer kind of thing. But at the end of the day, Udos Medic should win. He should win by early knockout. Danny Rodriguez is not good. Like he just again, go watch his tape and just watch his footwork. Like you could tell so much from a fighter just from his footwork, and he's horrible. Now, for some of you that might say, "Oh, but Danny Rodriguez, he beat Kevin Holland." No, he didn't. It's like after that fight, Kevin Holland said he went into that fight concussed. And I went back and I watched the fight, and even during the fight when I was watching it, I'm like, bro, what is Kevin Holland doing? Like the way he was moving, the way he was carrying himself, you could tell he wasn't there. And when he said that he was concussed, it made a lot of sense, right? So like he literally beat a concussed Kevin Holland, and that's the same fight that he almost got finished himself via a concussed Kevin Holland, which is honestly so fucking embarrassing. Same person that went to a split decision with Alex Morono in 2024, so he's not good. I just don't trust Uros Medic. I never will. But it is what it is. Now, for the next fight, Jan Blachowicz versus Navajo Sterling. And this fight, honestly, it has me crying. Right? It has me fucking crying because I hate Navajo Sterling. I hate him because he's absolutely dog shit. He's filth. He's garbage. He's 10 and 0 in the UFC. And he's garbage. I can't stand him. When you watch him fight, it's like he's fighting in slow motion. I'm watching him throw and move. He's literally fighting in slow fucking motion, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What am I watching? You're literally fighting in slow motion. It's crazy. And how the fuck are you this big jacked and you bro? Fuck all that. You're at 205. How do you not have knockout power at 205? Right? Like how do you not have it? Tuko Tokos decision. Even Urslan, decision. Rodolfo Bellato, decision. Meh, Bellato is quite durable. Bruno Lopez, wow, he got a knockout. His first knockout in the UFC after like 3, 4 fights, he knocks out Bruno Lopez. And to be fair, Bruno Lopez, he got a little tired in round two. And then his most recent win, Ion Kutulaba via punches and elbows, but realistically, he didn't knock out Ion Kutulaba. That guy sat down and quit. He has one knockout in 5 UFC fights. He fights in slow motions. I've been praying ever since he won in the Contender Series. Every single time he fights, I'm waiting to fade him. I haven't faded him yet because he's fighting cans in the UFC. I haven't faded him yet, and I've been waiting for the day to fade him. And this is where it gets tricky because if this was Jan Blachowicz from last year, not even 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, if this was Jan from last year, I would bet on Jan. The plus 250, plus 260, I would take it. I would. The problem is Jan, his last fight, he gets injured. He had to get his meniscus surgery, his meniscus tore. He had to get surgery. He's been off for a year, and now he's coming back. Like, I think Jan is what 43, right? So it's like Jan is 43 right now, and he just turned 43 in February. I would have took him at 42. I would have took him at 42 last year. Why? Because Navajo Sterling fights in slow motion, and he's hardly beating these cans. He's hardly beating Tukotakos. He's hardly beating Ivan Urslang. He's hardly beating, Rodolfo Bellato, and he fights in slow motion. And when Navajo loves to throw it, it's a lot of hooks, uppercuts, kicks. Not a lot of straight down the pipe. Now, when you look at Jan's style, there's a reason why everyone who fights Jan fights differently, right? Everyone complains about Jan's fights, right? They go in and they look at his record and they complain. And they complain because they're like, damn, Carlos Olberg, it was a close decision. Did he win? Did he lose? Damn, Alex Pereira, it was a split decision. Damn, Bogdan Guskov, it was a draw. Damn, Ankalaev, it was a draw, split draw. And there's a reason why all of his fights are so close. It's just when you're fighting Jan, everyone fights different. It just always happens. Like there's always that one fighter where when people fight him, they always fight differently. And when you look at his record, you look at his fights, everyone fought differently. Alex Pereira fought differently. Carlos Ulberg fought differently. Bolgon fought differently. Ankalaev fought differently. It's because of Jan. He's big, strong, Polish guy. That again, his jab is beautiful, right? When you're throwing these hooks and stuff, like Jan has good eyes, and you could tell by his jabs. Jan, he has very good eyes for striking. He watches you and he jabs. He watches you in low kicks. He watches you in jabs. You're throwing a hook, my jab's gonna land first. You're throwing this, my low kick's gonna land first. And his jab is heavy and hard. His low kick is heavy. He has beautiful eyes. Jab, low kick, jab, low kick, jab, low kick. And this is how he keeps all these fights close, is because he throws jabs hard. He throws, you could hear the thud. Thud. You could hear the thud on the low kicks. So everyone fights differently when they're fighting Jan. It's just Jan is fucking 43 years old. Again, listen to me. Navajo should win. Like, I'm going to pick Navajo to win. But at minus 300, I'm not even going to bet on him, right? I'm not. I might parlay him Navajo via decision. I might parlay that. But I am waiting for Jan spreads because I think Jan is such a big underdog. Jan to win one round will probably be double your money. Jan to win half a round will probably be like minus 200 or something. I'm gonna look to do that because honestly, I'd rather lose money on Jan than bet it on Navajo minus 300. I am gonna wait for the day. Remember, it's probably Navajo's next match, but I'll be the first person to fade Navajo completely. I'm probably gonna sprinkle Jan and Jan spreads and stuff, but that's not fading him. I'm gonna in his next match or his next match, I'm gonna clearly fade Navajo by putting a lot of money on the other person. Now, another thing is Navajo. It's not necessarily short notice. I know he said he was in Japan and he was traveling and he wasn't like he wasn't thinking about a fight. But then again, he's young. He's always in shape. He just had a fight in June. What is 1 month off? It's really nothing. The way Navajo fights, it doesn't really take much energy. He barely throws anyway. So Jan has had a full training camp, so I'm not really worried about that sense. I think Navajo's ready. I don't think he's lacking anything here. I think he's ready. I think he's in shape. He's fine. I don't think the short notice is gonna affect him because again, he literally fought a month ago. It is a big step up in competition. If this was a year ago, Jan, I would take him clearly, but pick is Navajo. I'm probably gonna bet on Jan. I'm never gonna bet on Navajo in my fucking life. Fuck that kid. Go watch his fight. He's honestly fucking horrible. Fuck you, Navajo. It's just I hate watching him. He's so fucking bad, and then when he wins, he thinks he's so fucking good. It's I'm gonna upset myself. This is honestly, I'm gonna start crying or some shit. Like he honestly just pisses me off. Like it's fucking horrible, man. Honestly, I'm honestly so annoyed now. Anyways, another wow, yay! Oh my god! Honestly, to be honest, this is the first fight card this entire year where I'm more excited about the prelims than I am the main card. Honestly, the prelims will be more entertaining, and the prelims is where the money's made. This card now, Aleksandar Rakic versus Marcin Tybura. Again, it's like you go and you look at their records, and it's like, well, when was the last time Rakic even won a fight, right? Rakic is 34 years old. He hasn't won a fight since 2021, which was 5 years ago. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, and you could be like, oh, Rakic been knocked out 3 times. No. Once was against Jan Blachowicz. It was a leg injury that doesn't count. Once was against Asmat Mirzakhanov, which he did get knocked out. It is what it is. And then the other time was his first. Yeah, it was his first fight ever 15 years ago, which I mean you can't really count that either. So he's really only been knocked out once, which was Asmat Mirzakhanov. Against more, I mean, again, it's like what kind of Rakic is gonna come into this cage, right? Like realistically, I understand Rakic's not the natural heavyweight, but if you've seen Rakic fight, he's huge, he's strong, he's deezed, he's jacked. I mean, I really liked Rakic's fight against Ankalaev. Like Rakic's fight against Ankalaev was good. If the Rakic who fought Ankalaev 2 fights ago in 2024 October shows up, he should win here, right? He should get the knockout. Like go in there because again, Marcin Tybura is horrible at striking. He honestly doesn't like. At the end of the day, he's a grappler, but in his recent fights, he honestly stopped grappling. Like he kind of like gave up on the takedowns. Now he's just striking, and if the takedown shows itself, he'll take it. And if it doesn't show itself, it's like he doesn't tire himself to go get that takedown. Like he doesn't go desperately like I need this takedown to win. No, he just lets it go and he just starts striking. And then if you hit him enough times and hard enough, he just covers up and the referee stops it. So it's like this is the easiest fight for Rakic. It's the easiest layup for Rakic. Literally. He has to go in there and just do what Ante Dilia did. Just spam fucking punches, and he's gonna quit. But a minus 350, I don't fucking. At this point, you could just, parlay Rakic, Navajo, and Uros. I'm not going to. But, anyways, Rakic via strikes, via Letterman skills. Just wait for the prelims. That's a lot better, okay? Anyways, everyone's favorite fight of the main card: Dusko versus Robert Valentin. This is tricky, right? This is honestly tricky, and I'll tell you why. Okay, now this is tricky, but it's a good odds fight, right? In one hand, when you look at Dusko, right? Dusko is one of the worst fighters in the division, right? He's 13-6, he's 4-6 in the UFC. He only has wins against Jose Medina, Jordan Wright, Maki Peter. Who the hell is that? Maki Pitolo and Daquan. Daquan. So really, his only win is Jose Medina. And against Jose Medina, he grappled. He didn't even strike. Now, same person that lost to Zachary Reese. One thing about Dusko that I do like is his grappling. Right? He's kind of a big boy. I love his judo. I love how he holds you in the cage. Goes for the body lock. Uses trips and turns to drop you, and he's on top of you. I do like that. However, we saw him do that against Zachary Reese, and Zachary Reese instantly got up. Dusko doesn't have good striking. It's almost like he like throws in slow motion. He's not a striker. His striking is horrible. He throws very slow. You could see it coming, and that's why he resorts to the wrestling, is because you could counter him quite easily because of how slow he is. So Dusko in this fight is probably gonna grapple, because Robert Valentin is, even though they're the same weight class, he looks a. Well, I mean, first he does look a lot leaner, but it's like just he fights a lot smaller. Like he fights faster. His strikes are faster. His footwork is better. He's moving. He's bouncing a little bit compared to Dusko, who is quite literally planted. Now Robert Valentin is also a grappler, which like I think pure jiu-jitsu, Robert Valentin should win. I am a little worried about the grappling into the wrestling part where Dusko might win and might get top position. And I don't like Robert's grappling. I don't like his wrestling. I do like his jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling is the problem because I know Dusko's not high level, because I always tell you guys in a grappling match, when you have a very high level BJJ person versus a very high level wrestler with mid BJJ, which we actually just saw with Ezra Elliott versus Damian whatever, the wrestler almost always wins. Like in this case, if Dusko is in Robert's full guard and Robert's on his back, Dusko should be able to hold him there, assuming he does. And that's what worries me in this fight, because when I saw the odds come out, I was like, "Ooh, Robert Valentin minus 140. I'm gonna slam that." But then I'm like, I went back and I watched tape, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" Well, you know, Torres Finney did what he did, but then again, that's Torres Finney, which you can't count. Then you go and you watch Ryan Lauder, but then you're like, oh, but Ryan Lauder is also a good wrestler. I mean, Torres Finney and Ryan Lauder are like levels beyond above Dusko when it comes to wrestling. So it just comes down to this: it's like, who's the better wrestler? Can Robert Valentin stop the wrestling or reverse the wrestling of Dusko? Because if he can, I won't be surprised if he's able to hold him down. It's just, this is a tough fight because it's like Dusko is a little bit durable. And I'm not saying he's completely durable. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's out here getting knocked out by CLD and Abdul Malik Mansour, but those are knockout people. I I won't listen. I'm gonna pick Robert Valentin. This is a close fight. You can tell I'm not really confident. Um, what I would like to see is if Robert Valentin could win a decision, just because it's like plus 700. So it's like if the grappling nullifies, right? If the grappling nullifies and like maybe one round Deuce goes on him, the other round Robert's on him, and then like the third round striking, and it's like in the striking Robert should win, but it's not like, oh my god, Robert's so much better. It's like he might knock him out. No, it would be quite sloppy. I would really like if this fight goes to the decision, just because the odds are there. I'm not gonna put $1,000 straight on these buffoons. That's why I would prefer for it to go to decision, and I think Robert's like what, plus $700, $800. Sorry, plus seven, plus 800 on the odds. That's why I would prefer for it to go to decision. So Robert via decision. If he gets a submission and I have the decision, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, Cepo versus Gilbert Urbina. Now, Cepo is horrible. He should win this fight, but he's horrible. He's literally a street fighter. Every like the second the bell rings, he runs across the cage and starts spamming hooks. And all you need is one technical fighter, or you're gonna throw hooks down the pipe, bang, down the pipe, you get knocked out. That's it. Like literally, there's you could beat Cepo two ways. When he's spamming hooks, put your guard up, move down the pipe, boom, you knocked him out, or take him down. He has no grappling. His grappling is horrible. He should win this fight, but he's gonna be the biggest fade. However, because of how obvious his disadvantages are, I don't think we're gonna be able to fade him because the second he gets put up with someone decent, I'm pretty sure the odds are going to swear against that person because I think everyone knows that Cepo is quite bad, and I think that when he fights a decent level person, we're not going to get good odds on him, so it won't even matter. But Cepo will be a full fade in the future. His grappling is horrible, and his striking is also horrible. He just goes in there and starts spamming hooks. Now in this fight against Gilbert Urbina, I mean, again, like Gilbert Urbina is fighting at 185, right? Like Cepo fights at 185. Gilbert Urbina fights at 170, and he's honestly not a big 170. Honestly, actually want to know how tall is he. I know it says 5'9" there, which is absolutely incorrect. He cannot be 5'9". He's 6'3". Gilbert Urbina is 6'3", so he's taller than Cepo. How tall is Udos Medic? Udos Medic is 6'1". That's really weird because they looked almost the same height. I think that's wrong. There's no way Gilbert Urbina is 6'3". But anyways, Gilbert Urbina could win this fight. All he has to do is like literally just time Cepo coming in and just time a punch the same way how he did Uros Medic, and he could knock him down. But realistically, I think the pressure is going to be too much. I think you have to be quite technical and calm under pressure to beat Cepo. I don't think Gilbert Urbina is that person. I'm going to pick Cepo. I doubt I'm going to bet on this fight. But Cepo just going to go in there and like literally the second the bell rings, he's going to start spamming punches. So hopefully Cepo could get a knockout in under a minute because the odds on that would be crazy. Horrible fight, but don't worry, we're gonna get into some good fucking fights here. Next, Ludovit Klein versus Tofiq Musayev, and this is a good fight. This is where it starts. Again, every single time there's a card, I go and I rewatch all the fighters. Even if I watched them a month ago, I go and I rewatch them just because styles make fights. Now, Ludovit Klein is the favorite. He's quite a big favorite. I think it's like minus 220, minus 250. Ludovit Klein, when I was rewatching him, because I've never really been high on Ludovit Klein, but I was honestly quite impressed. That's the problem. Like, I was impressed with Ludovit Klein's last performance. But again, it's like when you think about it, well, who was his last performance against? It was against Rebecca. And Rebecca is not the best person. He's honestly horrible. And the reason why I really liked his performance against Rebecca was because he was clean. His striking was honestly so clean. Like I never knew Ludovit Klein has this kind of striking. It's like, bro, like you're coming in, he steps back 1-2, then he moves, right? You come in, left check hook, then he moves. He's not there anymore. He has very clean striking, very technical striking, down the pipe, clean. He kind of has beautiful striking. It's quite beautiful, actually. He throws, he moves, you can't hit him. His defense is quite nice. I kind of feel like I'm talking to a girl. Like his striking was pretty. It was like a painting. It was beautiful, and it was nice, you know. But then I thought about it. I'm like, fuck. It was against Rebecca. You know what I'm saying? It was against the tall black guy Roberts. It was against Diego Moises, against AJ Cunningham. I'm like, what am I doing? And then it's like, well, Rebecca doesn't really have knockout power, and I'm like, but that's not sorry. But then I was like, well, Ludovit Klein doesn't have knockout power, and then I was like, everything is so pretty. But then I'm like, well, how do you beat someone who's so pretty? You go in there and you make it a fucking dogfight. And then it's like, you look at Tofiq, and it's like, you look at Tofiq's last fight against Ignacio Bahamundes, who everyone, including myself, had Bahamundes. I had Bahamundes by submission. He goes in there, and this is like, he's smart, man. Like, it's like Ignacio's 6'3", and he's too tall and he's too long. You know, round one, Tofiq goes in there and starts striking with him. It's you know, Ignacio was getting the better of him just because of how long he is. Tofiq couldn't come in. So what did Tofiq do? He's like, fuck this. He goes in there and he grapples. And it works. And I was surprised. I was like, holy shit. He's honestly out grappling Ignacio Bahamundes. That's crazy. And he held him down. And not only did he do all of that, but his ground and pound was so fucking nasty. It was so nasty. I was in awe. I was like, holy shit, I love this guy. Fuck. When you see ground and pound like that, usually what happens is people are pussies. They take you down and they just hold you, and they don't do ground and pound or go for submissions because they don't want, like, when you're doing ground and pound and going for submissions, that's the opportunity that people use because you're able to create space to get back up. If you don't do that and you just lay on them, it's hard to get up. So when you're doing ground and pound, throwing elbows, throwing punches, going for subs, you get up. And the fact that Tofiq do so many elbows that homeboy was painted red in his own blood, he still couldn't get up. He'll throw a bunch of elbows, bring you back down and hold you. It was beautiful. I was like, oh my god, I love you. More. I want to see you do that to everyone. Take them down and just fucking elbow them and elbow them and elbow them and elbow them and elbow them. It was beautiful. Ignacio was fucking red. And Tofiq was red. But anyways, I like Tofiq. Just because again, it's like um, Ludovit Klein should win, but the way Tofiq fights, I kind of like him. He makes it a dogfight. His striking is pretty good. He hits like a fucking truck. His wrestling looked nice. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna compare Tofiq Musayev's wrestling to Gamrot's, but it's like, if I mean, it's tough. This is honestly tough. Well, it's actually not tough because I'm not gonna bet on Ludovit Klein. Like, I'm not gonna. Listen, honestly, I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna pick this as I'm gonna pick Tofiq Musayev. Um, I'm not really confident on it. Who the fuck is texting me? If I had an editor, I could cut this out. But does this shirt look like a grandma? Oh Jesus. Anyways, I'm gonna pick Tofiq. I think that his striking is nice. I think that he hits a lot harder than Ludovit Klein. I think that he's gonna make this a dog fight, and in a dog fight, I'm gonna pick the fucking dog and Tofiq Musayev. I might bet on his spread because of, again, this is a good card for spreads because he's an underdog, and the bigger the underdog you are, the better spreads you could get. So I'm gonna pick Tofiq. I'm probably gonna bet on him, but I have more confident picks coming up. Okay, now Oban Elliott versus Michael Oliveira. I see a lot of people. Well, there's two halves of the equation here, right? You have one half saying, "Oh my God, Oliveira's gonna knock him out," and then you have the other half of people who are saying, "Well, are we sure Michael Oliveira's gonna knock out Oban Elliott? Are we sure?" Yes, I'm fucking sure. I am sure. Because I honestly, when I was doing tape, I was like, is Oban gonna knock him out? But then when I thought about it, I was like, fuck, yeah, he is. When I was rewatching Oban's fights, right? Listen to this. I'm rewatching Oban's fights. Oban has 3 knockouts with 2 knockout losses. Oban has 3 knockouts in 16 MMA fights, which is crazy. Oban has no knockout abilities. He punches like a bitch. Now, the 2 times he's been knocked out cold was in the regional scenes in 2020, in 2021. It wasn't that long ago. It was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. The guy was 23, 24 years old. 23, 22 years old. This is the problem. Against Jonathan Metcalf, Jonathan is a grappler. He's a BJJ nerd. His striking is atrocious. However, Oban's footwork put him in a bad position. He was right in front of Metcalf trying to cut the corner. His footwork is horrible. He got stuck. He got caught. He got dropped like a little bitch by a fucking BJJ butt scooching nerd. Are you crazy? He got dropped. I cannot recall. I think it was it the Cole fight or was it the Preston Parson fight? He got dropped again. You're getting dropped by bums. You're getting knocked out on the regional scene. And then his wrestling, I think he was wrestling Val Woodbum. Val Woodbum. I think he was wrestling Val Woodbum. And because I was like, well, how's Oban's wrestling? Is he going to be able to out wrestle Michael Oliveira? Oban's wrestling was horrible. Like, he would take down Val, but then he would instantly get back up. Then he would take down Val, then he would instantly get back up. And then Oban just quits because Oban's getting tired from doing it. He doesn't have good wrestling. He doesn't have good grappling. He has decent. He's honestly a worst version of JDM. Right? He has decent boxing, but you punch like a bitch. But then you go and you watch Michael Oliveira. You watch Michael Oliveira's. You could watch his regional fights in LFA. He fights the same. LFA, he fights the same. In the Contender Series, he fought the same too. In the Contender Series, Oliveira, like, you could tell, he's very comfortable, right? He took his time. He wasn't throwing hard. He's throwing jab, 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 right hand, easy, just touching you, jab, jab. He sees an opening, bang, right hand hard. jab, left hook, bang, right hand. Like, he's picking his shots. You have to be comfortable to be able to do that. And the way, like, look at his legs. The way he goes in and out, following you, in and out, like bouncing back and forth with you. He's very comfortable. He's very strong. He has that core strength. He has that leg strength. The way he turns his body with those counters, he knows what he's doing. What's gonna happen is Oban, he's gonna either fight scared and just fight against the cage the entire time and get knocked out, or Oban is gonna come in to try to come in to throw, because Oban is a boxer, and to box you have to fight in close range, which is not good. You don't want to box Michael Oliveira, and he's gonna end up boxing Michael Oliveira. He's gonna fuck up his footwork, and then Michael Oliveira's just gonna clip him. Oban's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get knocked out cold. Like, he's gonna go out cold. Like, it's gonna be, you're gonna be like, holy fuck, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Now, Borislav Nikolic versus Mark Vologdin. Okay, I like this fight. Okay, I've been waiting for the day to fade Mark Vologdin, just because he's not good, right? If you look at his regional career, when he fought, right before the Contenders Series at AFN, he was fighting bums. He was fighting absolute bums in the regional scenes. Excuse me. Then he comes into the Contender Series. He fights Adrian Luna Martinelli, the same fucking person who lost to Davy Grant. And I fucking bet on Davy Grant, because I'm like, bro, this fucking guy punches like a bitch, and he throws hooks. But then when I watch Davy Grant, I'm like, again, how do you beat a brawler? You be technical. And then when I watch Davy Grant, I'm like, holy fuck, Davy Grant is 40 years old. But then I was like, he's 40, but he has a chin, and he's technical. So what was the entire fight? Davy Grant beat him by low kicks and 1-2s down the pipe, because he's technical. Technical fighters beat brawlers. Adrian Martinelli, who beat Mark Vologdin, lost to Davy Grant at 40 years old, coming off of fucking surgery. That's not a good. It's not a good loss. Adrian, he has no power. He just spams stuff. In that fight, Mark Vologdin got tired in round 2. Mark Vologdin was losing round 1 into the last 10 seconds, where he dropped Adrian. But again, he dropped Adrian because Adrian got caught. Literally, Adrian threw a hook, missed. He's off balance, and he gets clipped. And he gets back up. This is the problem. Mark Vologdin, he doesn't punch hard. He's not like, he looks like he does. He doesn't punch hard. He doesn't hit hard. He's not fast. He's too small for this weight class. He's too small for flyweight. He should be fighting at flyweight, but he's at 135, because look how fucking jacked he is. He can't even make 125. He has to move down to 125. He should not be fighting at 135, for many reasons. One, even in his second fight against John Castaneda, he got tired in round 2. He got tired in round 2 in his Contender Series. He got tired in round 2 in his in UFC debut. Another thing is because he's so short, he's susceptible to knees up the middle and uppercuts up the middle. Mark Vologdin, he doesn't know how to fight back moving backwards. When he was moving backwards against John Castaneda, he was getting clipped like 3, 4, 5 combinations. Against Adrian Martinelli, the fact that he didn't, like, it was such an embarrassing fight. I know everyone loves that fight because it was such a back and forth fight and they're bleeding and stuff, but it just showed all of his holes. Like, you could gas him out quick with pressure. He can't fight moving backwards. He doesn't punch hard. It's just, what is he good at? He's not good at anything. Like, he's not fast. Like, how are you not fast at 135? At 125, 135, you have to be quick. You have to be fast. You have to have the head movement. You have to have the footwork. You're small. He doesn't have any of that. And then against this, like, listen, Mark Vologdin is so fucking bad that he made John Castaneda look good. Bro, I was watching that fight yesterday, and I was like, holy shit, this fucking guy is making Castaneda look like a good fucking... And Castaneda's dog shit. And he made Castaneda look good. The way Castaneda was countering... Because, bro, Castaneda does not fight like that. If you watch Castaneda's fights, he fights like a pussy. But against Mark Vologdin, he fought entertaining. Why? Because after round 1, he realized, holy shit, he's slowing down. I'm able to see his punches and strikes, and he doesn't hit hard. So Castaneda put on the pressure. He was pressuring Mark, and he was literally slipping Mark, countering him, throwing 5 straight combinations while moving forward. He looked like Carlos Prates without the power. He looked like Carlos Prates in there, but without the power. The way he was countering Mark, Mark couldn't take it. He hurt Mark. He didn't wobble. He didn't necessarily wobble him, but you could tell like some of those strikes hurt him. Like he had to like take a second. Holy shit! Like shake out the cobwebs. He made John Castaneda look so fucking good. And like that right there says everything for this fight. And another thing is Mark is 5'3", and he has small reach. Now, when you look at Borislav, go watch his regional tape because this is one of the few fighters that I have ever seen who, prior to coming to the UFC, he has good wins on the regional scenes. He has a bunch of fights in Brave FC, and he's not fighting bums, right? Like his fight against Ali Guliev, the guy was 7-0. Then he lost to Borislav, and he's still on like he's like 9-1, 10-1 now. A lot of the fighters that he's fighting, he's beating, and they're still winning afterwards. Like he's fighting good people on the regional scenes. Not the best, but better than like pretty fucking good, and that's impressive because you rarely see that. His fight against Elliott. No. One thing I want to start with is, listen, the hand myth. Fighters with big hands, proportionate to their bodies, have knockout power. If you look at Borislav's fucking hands, they're fucking huge. They're so fucking big. And this is why he's getting all these knockouts. Borislav's hands are big. And this is why he gets these knockouts. Go watch his fight on YouTube against Ali Guliev. What is he doing? He's taking his time. He's bouncing, jab, whatever, jab to the body, bouncing. He saw the opening. He threw his whole body into an overhand right. Out cold. Out fucking cold. In his fight against Hamza Kuyaj, the Hamza guy is a very good wrestler. Borislav gets out wrestled in the first round, but this is what he does. He gets wrestled, he gets back up. Gets taken down again, he gets back up. The difference is he's pressuring. When like a lot of people when they're fighting wrestlers, they're scared. They don't throw and they're scared, so they're moving backwards. When you're moving backwards, the wrestler takes you down. You're actually supposed to move forward. So in this fight against Hamza, what is he doing? He's moving forward. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Because no one fucking does this. Everyone is too scared to move forward against a wrestler, even though that's what you're supposed to do. This fucking guy moves forward. He gets taken down, he gets back up. He gets taken down. The one thing I don't like is he gets taken down, he reverses Hamza, but then he goes for a submission, and then the wrestler reverses him. Because again, the wrestler usually beats the BJJ person. Not always, but usually. And then he gets back up. And then for like 2 rounds, he's getting back up, and he's throwing, right? He gets back up, he doesn't let him rest. The second he gets back up, he's throwing, pushing him back, he's tiring him out to the point where Hamza got so fucking tired, and Borislav is just walking him down. Hamza's literally running away from him. Borislav is walking him down, swinging punches, knocks that dumb guy out cold. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy's fucking sexy, holy shit. His fight against Mateus Malta, his most recent fight in Brave FC, Brave 104, it's a striking display. It's like he pressures. The second the fight starts, he's pushing you back against the cage. You're behind the black line. He's pressuring you. He's countering you. He throws these uppercuts so nicely. His knees up the middle. The same thing. Remember what I told you? Like his striking is very good. He throws his jabs. He throws his right hands. He throws the body shots, the knees, the uppercuts. He's picking his shots. He's also willing to eat one to throw one. But he has quite of a nice chin. And then what does he do? Mateus, like his pressure, because he's constantly pressuring you and constantly hitting your body, you get tired. And then he starts ripping it, and he knocks out Malta so nicely. And another thing is, I love how we saw him go through adversity on the regional scenes. When he fought Nicholas Howendi, this black guy, I'm telling you right now, this black guy would beat UFC fighters. This fucking black guy would fucking beat Mark Vologdin. Nicholas Howendi, bro, this black guy, very nice. Like he was pushing back Borislav because he was the first person that wouldn't move back. When Borislav would pressure him, Nicholas would just hold his ground and throw. He has very nice striking down the middle, straight punches, hard punches, to the point where he closed Borislav's eye in round 2. Borislav fought 3 rounds with one fucking eye open. And he dropped Borislav twice. He dropped him once, which doesn't count because Borislav was moving backwards. He was on one leg. Because again, it's like, listen, to me, what a knockdown is you're planted in your fighter stance and you get clipped and dropped. Because it's like when you're planted, it's harder to be knocked out. But when you're moving backwards, you're on one foot, or you throw a kick, it's a lot easier because you don't have your balance. You're not in your stance. You're not grounded, so it's a lot easier to get knocked out. And then his recoverability was so nice. Like he instantly popped back up. He wasn't dizzy. He wasn't wobbled. He was there, and he starts throwing back in a dogfight. And then he gets dropped again. Again he pops back up and he's pressuring him and he's throwing. Like this guy's a fucking dog. And then what does he do, bro? With one eye, he's pressuring Nicholas. With one eye, he's pressuring him. Leaping left hook clips the black guy. The black guy goes for a desperation takedown, locks in a ninja choke, and fucking wins the fight as a plus 350 underdog. I don't know how Mark wins this, right? Because Borislav is going to fight how he always fights, right? He's going to go in there, pressure you, and throw. If you make it a dogfight, he's also going to make it a dogfight. The problem is Borislav is longer than him, is bigger than him, is taller than him, hits harder than him. Borislav has a better chin than Mark. Bro, Mark was hurt in the fight against Martinelli. Mark was hurt in the fight against John Castaneda. If Mark hurts Borislav, he's gonna eat it and continue to throw. The way, like, and bro, Borislav has good cardio. The one thing that does, a little worry me a little bit is Borislav. This is short notice. I don't know if he was straight. Well, I'm pretty sure he didn't have a training camp or anything. I mean, I was looking at his Instagram, and he was, every week he would be posting, videos of him in the gym. But there's a difference between training and training for a fight. But honestly, the way fucking Borislav fights, man, you could tell he has good cardio. So I think he should be fine. I think Borislav wins this. I think Borislav probably knocks out, because bro, Borislav hits hard, man. I think Borislav probably knocks out Mark Vologdin. I really like this fight, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Okay, Mateus, same thing. It's like, guys, the fucker is minus 500. Like, I'm not gonna fucking take it. Mateus Rebecca should win. He should win. He's probably gonna win. Minus 500. I'm not gonna fucking take him. I might fucking sprinkle Kyle Prepper like, fuck this guy. I'm not even gonna give you a breakdown. Seriously, this guy pisses me off. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Nina versus Hailey Cowan. When I was watching Nina's tape, I clicked on her. Was it her? Let me see. When I clicked on Nina, she was 8-1, right? She was 8-1, 3 knockouts, 2 subs. I was like, holy shit, this girl be finishing girl bitches. So I watch her tape, and I'm like, I was going into this, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be impressed. I love it. And then when I watch her tape, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? This fucking girl is literally like, bro, she's moving forward, throwing, spamming 1-2s. She's stepping forward, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Like a fitness class where they're just spamming 1-2s, to get in shape. She's just moving forward and spamming 1-2s, 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 1. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I thought she was pretty good. No, she's fucking dog shit, right? She looks a little good. Like her grappling looks decent. But I honestly wasn't impressed. I honestly thought she was gonna look, because bro, when I saw the odds, I was like, holy shit, this Nina girl must be good. When I watched her tape, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching, bro? It sucks. It honestly sucks because this Nina girl, her striking is horrible. Don't get me wrong, Hailey Cohen's even more trash. But this Nina girl, her striking is horrible. Her wrestling is whatever. Her grappling, I mean, she kind of looked like in one of her tapes, like she looked a little decent in her grappling, just the way like she transitioned and she went for the sub. But outside of that, she's just fighting cans on the regional scene that she's just spamming punches that overwhelms them and she gets the finish. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? This fight's horrible, right? I'm gonna go back, rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch both of their fights and see, because fights like this, there's usually a lot of money to be made. So I want to make fucking money. So I'm gonna go back and rewatch this. But for now, I mean, Hailey Cohen is so bad. I can't believe she got knocked out like that in her last fight against Alice Pereira. She gets knocked out by Alice Pereira. She got choked up by Nora Cornell. She lost a decision against Jamie Lynn Horth. Eh, I mean, it's good people to lose to, but she also won a split decision. That's how she got a contract. She's not a fighter. Anyways, this is a good fight. Now, Jovan Leka versus Aleksandar Poppeck. You know, I thought Aleksandar Poppeck would be a lot better than he is. When I was watching his tapes, like he's a big, strong guy, but he fights like a pussy. Like he's on the back foot waiting for you to throw so he could throw, and he's scared to throw first. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And then when I watch Jovan Leka, his striking is horrible. His wrestling is horrible, but what he does do good is his trips, right? He gets you in the cage, gets a body lock, judo, or trips you, which is good because a lot of people could defend takedowns, but a lot of people cannot defend trips and judo throws and stuff like that. So, in a few fights, Aleksandar Poppeck was able to be taken down, be held down, give up mount, and against Jovan Leka, who's a heavyweight again. Aleksandar Poppeck is a light heavyweight moving up to fight at heavyweight, while Jovan Leka is a fat shit himself at heavyweight. So it's a light heavyweight versus a heavyweight, a striker versus a grappler, and the grappler is the heavyweight. Jovan Leka he should win this fight. He should take him down, lay on him, and get a finish. If he doesn't, oh, I know it's not the biggest upset, but it should be the biggest upset. Bro, a heavyweight grappler versus a fucking light heavyweight striker who has grappling deficiencies? That's crazy. Jovan Leka should be able to take him down and finish him on the ground. Whether it's TKO via strikes or whether it's a submission, it comes down to what Aleksandar Poppeck wants to give up. Leka should win. Like, he should win at minus 200. Pretty good odds. Like, it's pretty good odds. Minus 200, pretty good fucking odds. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Marina Spasic versus Stephanie Luciano. When I was watching Marina Spasic's, regional tape, her striking looks good. She looks confident in the striking. She throws hard. Everything she throws hard. Like she's walking down her opponents and she's throwing hard kicks, hard punches, body punches. Like, she changes it up. I'm like, bro, a fucking girl is throwing body punches? Hell fucking yes. Body punches, back to the head, to the kicks, everything hard. She punches like a man. She has good striking. One thing I don't like is she doesn't like to like counter you, right? Usually, you feint, your opponent throws, and you counter. No, she feints, her opponent throws, she steps back, then she steps back in. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Fucking counter her. So she doesn't have the best countering, but she does hit hard. She does hit good. When I was watching Stefiana Luciano, bro, her striking is not that good. Like, she almost fights like Natalia Silva on the back foot, always moving backwards, throwing those floppy kicks, jab, jab, moving backwards, jab, jab. I know Stephanie Luciano is not necessarily a grappler or anything, but the way she grappled in her last fight was honestly so beautiful. Like, she instantly like the way she timed that takedown and then instantly transitioned to the back. Like, it looked like fucking Charles Oliveira. I was impressed. I'm hoping in this fight she grab. Well, a part of me hopes that she grapples, and a part of me hopes that she doesn't, because if she doesn't grapple, well, then that gives Mariana Spasic a chance to win. And as a big fucking underdog, I'd rather Spasic win, right? So it's a close fight just because Spasic has a better striking and Luciano has a better BJJ. But this is where it gets tricky, because in one of Spasic's fights, I think it was against it was the fight that she lost, and it was a really weird fight. No, I'm clicking the wrong person. It was a fight against her second fight ago, 2 fights ago. It was against Marina. It was really weird because against Marina, she instantly started wrestling, and she honestly looked like she had good wrestling. Is that wrestling good enough to stop Stephanie Luciano? I don't know. But in that fight, for some reason, she didn't want to strike with that girl, which was really weird. Because from the beginning, she was wrestling, and she was scared to strike with that girl, because she started shooting in every single round. I'm like, what the, like, she's not even beating your ass for you to be wrestling, which was very weird. But then, of course, she comes back and she just body shot knocks out the Samira girl. You should go watch that. It was a pretty good fight. So, at the end of the day, I think Spasic has a better striking. I know we haven't seen Stephanie Luciano grapple much, but I do, the way she transitioned, like, you could tell, in that 1 minute transition of the ground game, you could tell Stephanie Luciano has good grappling. So tricky, very tricky. I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna take Stefiano Luciano by submission. Um, I mean, that's all you could take, like Stefiano Luciano by submission or Marina spread. Marina's a dog shot. Um, Cause I don't like, she's Serbian. Like, I know she's a kickboxer. What kickboxer has good fucking BJJ? None of them do. And I'm just saying that because when you're watching her tape, there's not enough tape on her grappling and stuff because she's just striking with everyone. Anyways, whatever. I want to quickly go over. Let's go over this card again, okay? What do we have? What do we have? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, Stefiano versus Marina. Probably Stefiano by submission. Leka by finish. Cowan, fuck that fight. Rebecca, fuck that fight. Bogdan, fuck that fight. Mark Volodin versus Borislav. Borislav via KO. Oliveira via KO. Tofiq, I don't know. Decision maybe. Cepo by knockout. Valentin by decision or submission. Rakic by knockout. Navajo by decision. Hopefully Jan could upset, and then Udos managed by knockout. So really, our submission equity, if we're gonna do a cycle, the submission is sitting at either Stephanie Luciano or Jovan Leka. The one problem with the Leka fight is usually when the bigger guys are grappling, because they're so big and strong, they don't go for the submission. They just, spam a couple of, like, they kind of put you in a bad position where you can't defend yourself, so then they just start spamming ground and pound and they get the finish. So Luciano has submission equity, Leka has submission equity, Nina Grill might have submission equity. At a knockout, well, we have Oliveira for knockout, we have Borislav for knockout, we have Dennis Bazooka by knockout, we have Cepo by knockout, we have a lot of knockout equity and decision equity. Jan by decision, Navajo by decision, Valentin by decision, maybe Tofiq or Klein by decision. So basically, if we could get a submission in the first 2-3 fights, then we could hit a cycle. That is very possible. Very, very possible. Anyways, have a good night.